Hey, what's up? I'm again here. So this is the video part 2. The video part 1 ended on my question of asking Guzel if she thinks that gear matters. If she thinks that the gear matters, or in her thoughts on the idea that gear doesn't matter. So that's where the part 2 will continue. So she will answer to that question. And if you missed the part 1 somehow, so here will be the video of not here, sorry. On the top there would be the video of part 1. Just tap, look at if you want to watch the part 1, so have some context. Thank you, enjoy.
Eventually,
Okay.
until like if you're learning totally, like learn on whatever you can, and I think it's the time when you just contain whatever information is possible. You know how we broke during school and then we are anticipated to get a job and then make money later,
Yeah,
right? Some professionals after we're done.
but
Well, that's kind of the same way. I think, I mean, of course, if you are able to have um, a good camera from the start, I mean, good for you. But
but
it's
what
just
about
what Mhm.
the idea that gear doesn't matter? So like, gear doesn't define the creator. Creator
No, of course, absolutely. I mean, you can still make really great photographs.
with
I
iPhone.
mean, even with iPhone, that's
Yeah.
true. And I mean, some of the photos that I've taken that I really loved were taken on my small HCC that just had a really nice camera way back in probably like 6 years ago. But what I mean is that once you already got those skills, you want to keep growing. You want to make sure that you
Mhm.
deserve it. You deserve to get yourself a good gear because now at this point you already learned all of the skills and you obviously want to upgrade. Um, and I think you should experiment with different cameras because you never know what you're going to find. Maybe you connect more with Nikon, maybe with Fuji, maybe it's just film photography. Because film photography is beautiful and it's coming back and I love it. And I love editing in that style. I do have a film camera that I still didn't use, um,
but
gifted to me by my friend
you
who's
need darkroom, right? You need darkroom for that.
yes, to develop them, yeah. But you still can do that. It's not a really problem. The problem is just usually for me to just go out there and experiment. Even though I had film photography growing up, I still am more nervous using that than
Yeah.
digital because you mean like I can just like completely delete that if I don't like
Plus,
it.
and plus, film photography is pretty expensive,
Yeah,
and you don't want to like mess up with the photos because then you spend your film
yeah,
on, and you should be super careful with film photography. I understand that. Yeah.
yeah. That's definitely what gives me anxiety. That's for sure. Yeah,
So, wow, that's very nice talk. I don't know, I enjoyed. So, the next question that I wanted to ask you is, what do you believe? What do you believe make a photographer good photographer? I don't know. Maybe share some tips. I mean, you already shared that every
yeah,
photographer should know lighting. Like this is
yeah.
vital, fundamental.
No, of course, yeah, and I understand where you're coming from because you're obviously also from Turkmenistan, and you understand how a lot of the wedding photographers, all of them kind of look the same.
Yeah,
They keep one style, and you're bored. And you're just bored because they Photoshop everybody's faces, even if you have a mole or something,
yeah.
and everybody have like no, they're perfect, and it's impossible. And I think making people look like they're not real humans is not pretty, and it's again it comes from a place of judgment because I just never really liked this style, because I think we need to embrace that human have wrinkles, human have freckles, and
So you
maybe
for
it's
like
not.
natural look.
Absolutely, I think it's so important to
Agree.
show that everybody's normal. It's impossible to be perfect, and um, And again, our culture really likes to emphasize beauty in a very, not a pretty way. Like, beauty standards is ugly there. It's just, I don't find it ugly, meaning not necessarily that physically ugly. It's just people forget to focus on who the person is. They're more focused on how much makeup she has, or um, you know,
Yeah.
how long the lashes are and everything. And that's just, they all look the same to me when they put all that makeup on. And I would never want to work with anyone like that. I don't want a model who puts that much makeup on her face, because that's just not what my style is. I like bare face. If you can play with makeup and make it different, make it unique, sure, let's play with it. But if all you want to do is just look the same as, a million other people on Instagram, I mean, that's just not unique. Um, and again, that was just that was not nice. I was just kind of, shifting models. I'm just like, you're ugly. Um, no, I think for me, what makes it unique, again, as I said before, getting inspired, it's good, but then you have to have fun with it. Just let your imagination flow with it. Like, whatever you have in the room, it doesn't have to have anything. Literally, it could be just empty room and a model, and whoever the model is. And it doesn't have to be model in terms of, oh, 1969 proportions. They can be absolutely, normal and however their body shape
Yeah.
is. Um, but just have fun with it. Seriously,
Agree.
I think if you're curious, or if you just let yourself be curious and pay attention to little details, you'll find that there's so many things that you can
So
photograph. So yeah.
so the curiosity is very important in learning, in improving whatever you do.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, that was it. I was just like, okay, where can I find this? How can I make this? And constantly exploring. And once you start, like, even the way social media works, and everyone knows this, who knows social media, there is algorithm that if you like something, they're going to give you more of that. So
Yeah.
if you follow good photographers, you're going to keep seeing more of their work, or more of work of other photographers, and you get exposed to it. So I think that's why I love Instagram so much, because my latest inspirations were from there. And then you just get inspired and just have fun with it. And definitely your first models should be always your friends, people that you're comfortable with. Just have fun with it. Like, you enjoying your time would show in the photo, and it would be more fun. It would be most authentic that you could ever get.
Yeah, that's
Because
yeah, authenticity. Yeah, I guess that's what makes me uncomfortable, because I don't know, I feel uncomfortable taking pictures of people. So probably if I ever want to start doing portrait, I should start with, my friends and people that I know to get
definitely,
comfortable and
I
stuff.
think it's kind of a weird time to start doing that. Because I feel like, 'cause what I wanted to suggest is that I usually started with photojournalism, photographing people while doing something, right? It's an event. So let's say there's a March for Science. So you just go and photograph people doing something, and you
Yeah,
can be
that's
so.
one of the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's one of the components of street photography. That's what I'm into, and I want to do that. I try to capture the action, or like people action, but yeah, because of COVID, not a lot of people outside, and I
Yeah,
don't study in a big city, so to kind of have that privilege
that's
to
understandable.
meet people.
But yeah, it's a weird time to play with things like that, to be honest. But if you have your friends, that's definitely just like, it's snow outside. Give them something to work with. I mean, they already have snow, like, just play with it. And I think where I get lost is when people come to me, or my friends come to me, like, oh, I want this type of photo, and they exactly, like, just exactly same pose. Like, let's say a girl sitting on the snow, very pretty, holding an apple or whatnot in a pretty dress. It's all very nice and pretty, and I wouldn't mind doing that. But it's what they're seeing is like kind of repeating another style that's been repeated 100 million times before.
Mm.
So you can give them that photo. And what I usually do, I'm like, okay, you want that photo? I'm going to take that photo of you. I'm going to give it to you. But it's not that you just take one photo and you're done with the photo shoot, right? You get like, you have camera, you have time, you have um, memory, and you just go and shoot the way you want it to be. So that way, if they want to post that photo, please go ahead and do it. But you have your own favorite work and you get to post that. So I think that's always fun.
Yeah, that's the hardest part of being professional photographer, because you have your own vision, but other people want something else, and you are kind of like, if it's your client, so you should do what they want. Rather, I mean, you can suggest,
Yeah.
listen to this, I see this way, but if they don't like, you know what I mean, like that's one of the downsides of being professional photographer, like making money with that, because your
Yeah.
vision.
So I think when it comes to business, you're right. It's really uncomfortable. But again, I know people who don't take shit from people. They seriously, they're like, okay, this is how I do it. If you don't want this, go find yourself a very typical photographer who will do whatever you want. You want my style, you listen to me. So I think it's all about putting a standard, um, and letting people know that's what I do. Just kind of letting them know that I'm not anyone's puppet or anything. But it just depends. If you're if you're doing the job in US, people are less um, picky on that. They're like, you're a professional, so I trust you. You do your job. Like I've never had a problem with people
And probably it depends on intention too. Like if you are doing photography to just make money, or if you're doing it for the sake of art, for the sake of creation, then you put standards for yourself. Like if you are doing for money, then you would just say okay to any suggestion.
If you start, yeah, but then think about it. If you want to have your signature photograph, if you want to have something that people really, they're like, no, only he can do this. That's what I want. He only can do this, and I want his style. So they would just keep coming to you. You can raise your price. You can be artistic and demand your rules and make good money. So you don't settle.
But I mean, on the way, if you will if you will kind of uh, contradict to the desires of a client, then you will lose some clients. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why, like, intention
Sacrifice.
is important. Like if you're doing it,
Sacrifice.
excuse me.
So I said you have to sacrifice your
Yeah.
client. It's maybe they're not your clients then. Then
Yeah,
don't settle for
that's why I'm saying the intention is important. Like if you're doing it only to make money, then you'll say okay to all the requests of all clients. But if you make it to kind of establish your style, to make it for sake of the art, to create your own, that again, style, I will repeat myself,
that. Yeah.
then you will put that standards, and you'll be more selective with the clients.
I think you can do it though. It's not impossible. I think
It
where
is,
you
it is.
coming from, what are you thinking is
I agree. Yeah.
probably art photographers back home who start photography not because they're into it, but because they want to make money off of that. They're like, oh yeah, my friend did so much money on this wedding. It's because of where we're coming from. It's because we're coming from a culture that just focuses mostly on money and praises money more than ever, than anything else. Art was never something that they're ever praised. It was always like how much money you can make off of that. It was always like, what's your ultimate goal? Can you become rich? And if that's your goal, I mean, I guess you could. There is a chance to do that, but if you're creating art, especially as
Yeah, you
photography,
just you just should be true to yourself. You should be,
yeah,
authentic, true you to your to
you should
your
like if you love your thing, people will notice that. If you love what you're doing,
Right.
it's going to be out there. Again, your work would make people feel things.
Yeah, they'll be attracted.
Yeah, and but if your goal is just to make money, I mean, I don't know. I It's just not something that I've ever wanted to do. It just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable when people even like ask me how much I charge, and that could be someone random, and I don't want to like do photography to someone random or anything. Like, it's just, it's strange. People sometimes could be asking that, but I don't know because I've never really knew my price range because I was just having fun.
You
I
just
was just really having fun. It was editing. Like this summer, and there's photograph of my friend Nellie. She's kind of on the soccer field, was a soccer ball just standing there with a skirt.
Oh yeah, I
She
saw that picture. I saw that picture. And I think you wrote a caption like such a talent and you write
oh,
her
she's
thing.
a natural. Yeah, she's very natural in modeling. She never modeled before, so working with her, that was like just so much fun. And that style, what I was trying to do, I was trying to imitate lighting wise and like the colors in magazine style, more like Vanity Fair. Um, and again, Annie Leibovitz was like an inspiration for a lot of it. So
That's
yeah, that that was just purely for fun. And my goal was, I was like, I want to learn how to edit photos the way that they would look like in the magazine. Even if I'm using my Nikon to take photos, that, it was just kind of a proof to myself that it doesn't matter. Because I was kind of sitting in this place where I'm like, well, I don't have a great camera, so my photos are never gonna like improve. So it was just more like a challenge to myself where I was like, I'm gonna edit and I'm gonna make it look as if I'm using some bomb ass camera when I'm not.
that's great.
And
Yeah,
yeah, so that was just purely fun. All of my photos that out there is just fun, like seriously. So yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. I guess the last, I don't know, question or um just the last thing, like share with one tip for all photographers, beginners that are watching this. Hopefully they are watching this, just what, like something that they should always keep in mind while improving their skills, their
Oh
photography.
god. Um, Again, just don't take it seriously. When you're taking it seriously, you just kind of lose that fun. Art's supposed to come to you naturally. It's just something that you have to really feel and have fun with it and be in tune with yourself. When you're in the mood to do it, just go and do it if you have. And again, if you're just a starter, just go and shoot and you'll understand what anybody, like, this is something that everyone says to beginners. They're like, just put it on the sports mode and just go and shoot. Just have fun with it. The thing is, the more photos you take, the more you realize, oh, this photo looks great. So what did I do here? Why does it look great? So questioning yourself and obviously learning basics. So if you have an access to YouTube, look up basic photography um, rules, just like rule of thirds, where I's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you cannot break those rules. You can, certainly, but it's suggested you keep in. It's gonna sound like super old school, but it'll all make sense at the end. It's just how another human would perceive your photograph. That's how you have to think too, like how another human will see it. But again, don't ever betray your own vision. If you see something the way you see it and you want to put it, you want to create it, you want to make it life, go with your idea. Don't listen to anyone. And there are going to be plenty of people in your life that's going to be like, yeah, well, my mom and my uncle is a photographer. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to give you my opinion because you have to care about my opinion.
Art is
Truth,
subjective.
yeah, the only important opinion in your life is yours, and when you're creating photograph, you supposed to love it, no one else. Who cares what other people like it or not? And a lot of exhibitions and everything, yes, you might get rejected if you're submitting your work. Doesn't mean your work is trash. It's something that you like, and there's always going to be people who are going to like your stuff too.
Yeah,
So
you attract the people that believe what you believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know, great conversation. Gave a lot of food for me, food to think and having fun. I think lately I'm too serious with that. I should a little bit loosen up. I should have fun with that. And I don't know, this conversation made me kind of think about it, probably realize that. And I should just have fun with all of that. And yes, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, talking, and sharing with your experience about all of this.
Of course, no problem. And again, I I I guess I understand where you're coming from. With the seriousness, is just remember that's how we programmed back home. That everything's supposed to be taken seriously. Just remember, life is short and it can end any minute now. And if all your life you've been just serious about things, you're boring. You just literally been bored. You've been boring yourself the whole time instead of having fun and enjoying the moment and like just being grateful for that. Oh my God, I have my camera in my hands right now and I have this opportunity. Oh my gosh, it's snowing. And instead of looking at it as, oh, it's cold, I hate it, take it as an opportunity and look at the brighter side, just have fun with it. You can do anything anywhere. You don't need to have a giant studio to to create something beautiful. You
Yeah.
already have everything. You have your camera in your hand and you have your head. That's all that it's enough,
Yep.
really. So just don't take anything seriously. That's like one if that would be an advice for me if when I was younger, that's what I would say. Because like people say a lot of things, but if you take them seriously, it's just you're not gonna go too far.
Great. Yeah, this is inspiring. This is cool. I like it.
Well, I'm glad I was able to share something knowledgeable, and I'm hoping that it's gonna help somebody out there.
I'm sure because my last video with this kind of type of video got the most views, like 150, and I was a little bit shocked. So I hope this is working and more people will know, watch, and learn. So hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, that's very interesting, and I kind of, to be honest, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna look and everything, but I don't. At this point, I don't even care. I think I reached my age where I'm like, this is who I am. I'm a human. I'm
Yeah,
real,
we
and
just have to have fun.
exactly, good point.
Yeah.
Touche. Um, but yeah. Well,
Good.
thank you for this. This was fun.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a good night. Yep. Because
Yeah, it's 7 p.m. I'm probably gonna go have dinner with my family, and yeah, of
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
course, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye.
So guys, this was interview with Guzel Tuhbatullina. I think was a great conversation we had with her. We had with her. I had with her, and I liked it. Inspiring, a lot of insights, a lot of valuable information, a lot of thoughts, opinions. So I hope it was interesting. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you didn't, and don't forget to share with your friends. I will see you guys in the next video. I know it's weird because I'm making that last words through the Zoom video, not through the camera, but something new. Bye.